You're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com, and it's me, it's that busy to the jizzy, the D-O double jizzy, B.G. James. Listen, get it, got it, good.
All right, we are back. Welcome to In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, handsome Jackie Jones, along with my right-hand man.
1-inch biceps, the power goat. Baha. There you go.
Oh, man. We've got a bah. And the man all the way from the UK.
The voice of the beautiful people and the cult of personality, Romeo's Choice, the Lionheart, Barbie Richards, Potato Man.
Oh, man. And right with us right now, right off the bat, and he's wondering why am I on this show, probably, is the Road Dogg, BGJ.
Oh, you didn't know? No, I wasn't wondering why I was on the show, man. Anybody on the same talk show as 1-inch biceps is getting quality FaceTime in the public arena. So I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm just glad to be in the thick of things.
Exactly.
Excellent.
The housewives love him.
Yeah, it's kind of like calling somebody who's like 7'2", like Shorty.
Yeah. Tank, call him Haystacks.
Exactly.
Been a couple of them throughout the years. I bet Johnny UK knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's going on, guys? We came to talk. You got me here to talk about Legends Mania in Hotlanta, Georgia, my hometown, Marietta, right near there. The 12th and 13th of what month is it?
March
12th and 13th at the Sheridan Gateway Hotel. I'm throwing out all the gratuitous plugs right here up front, and then we'll get to the idle chit-chat. We're going to the Gateway Sheridan at the Atlanta Airport on March the 12th and 13th as Legends Mania. Myself, my father, Bullet Bob Armstrong, my brother Brad Armstrong's all going to be there. It's an Armstrong family reunion, and we usually do about 10 of those shows a year. So if you don't catch this one, you'll catch the next one coming by. But it's going to be a good time, man. It's a good opportunity for everybody to get up close and personal with some of their favorite wrestlers. So we're going to have a good time down there, man. I hope 1-inch biceps is going to be there. I think kid from the UK is coming down. So I'm not sure. I'm falling apart.
Yeah.
I'm verbally falling apart, so I just threw in the UK kid.
Right. And that's legendsmania.com. And if you can't spell that, you're pretty pathetic, but you can get the link right off.
Right. You know what? If you can't spell it, I don't want to see you. I don't want you don't come. You don't get to come to the show.
I think PG meant that this is the first time ever an Armstrong reunion.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant. I was stumbling over my own tongue. But no, it is probably the first one we've done with Brad, to tell you the truth. He doesn't get out and about much in the wrestling scene anymore, so it will be pretty cool to have Brad there. People think he's my oldest brother, but he's actually my second oldest brother. He just started wrestling first because he already had some size on him when he got right out of high school. He broke in the business first, so everybody thinks he's the oldest member of the clan. But my brother Scott, who's referee in WWE, is the oldest member of the James gang. But man, we're gonna have a good time down there in Hotlanta. Like I said, I'm right from down there, man. So I'm be right at home for us. It should be great.
Yeah. Just speaking of the Armstrongs, do you ever regret that you got your most fame without the Armstrong name, like you didn't carry on the Armstrong name when you were in WWE?
You know what? Not really. I was kind of glad that I got not out from under it or nothing, but that I kind of made it on my own. That was kind of cool for me. It kind of verified a little something in my head anyway. And so I love that name. I'm proud of that, for the Armstrong name. I think in wrestling, it's not such a negative thing to be called an Armstrong. Especially to anybody who knows what's going on in the business. So I think it's pretty cool to have that name. But like I said, I kind of verified something in me that said I could make it on my own without that name. You know what I mean? So it was cool. Yeah, it was definitely, I got the best of both worlds with it, to tell you the truth.
We got a lot of people calling in, so we're going to try to get to a few of these people. We got Scotty calling in.
Okay, Scotty Riggs.
I don't know. It could be, because I actually noticed Scotty Riggs was posting on the Facebook.
Yeah, I saw him posted up on there, and so that's why I wondered if that was him.
No, I'm not. I'm just a fan.
You're just same old. You're just Scotty. All right, Scotty, what's going on, man?
Can you do a
I actually live 5 hours from Atlanta, so I might actually try to come out there.
Okay, yeah, man, it'll be good. It's right by the airport. I think it's a 2-day event where there's all kind of questions and answers and meet and greets and autograph sessions. So it's going to be a good time, man.
I just want to say it's great to an honor to be talking to you. I've watched you since I was a little kid, back when you were with Jeff Jarrett. And I wanted to ask, what is your favorite match that you have been in so far? Do you have one match that stands out from the others?
Yeah, I think the dumpster match, with Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, I think stands out the most to me. I mean, I think it was a defining moment in my career as well as Billy's, the New Age Outlaws were kind of thrust onto the scene with that match. So that's what I remember. We had a lot of cool matches after that, a lot of big talents in the ring with us, but that was just a cool stepping stone for us.
Okay. Hey, I'm glad you mentioned that. I wanted to ask you, Vince Russo said in his book that you talked Vince out of trying to stunt himself before he tried.
No, I did. He was going to go in the dumpster and take the dive over on the rehearsal to make sure it was safe for those two guys to do it. So that is true. I'd never read his book, so I didn't know that. I've never read a book, period, so I wouldn't know too much, really. I'm just kidding. I'm just Stephen. I read Stephen Colbert's book 3 times, so I'm actually dumber now for having done that. But no, so that's cool that he wrote that about it, because that was true. I thought, what's the purpose of that? Vince kind of impresses you a little bit with his willingness to do crazy stuff, take big bumps off cages and crap, and his son did that too. Shane did that too. Took a bunch of crazy big bumps and kind of proved themselves a little bit with the boys, on the other side of the table there is your boss, who's also gone down through tables and had all cages and stuff. So it's cool.
Have to do it, and he did, and he was going to.
No, he was fully willing to, and I really said, there's no reason for you to do that at all. I said, these guys feel fine about it. We had precautions set in. The only thing I was worried about was maybe an arm or a leg coming out and getting trapped under there. But they had some.
Not to do it, because Vince, he seems like a pretty stubborn guy, like when he has his mind set.
I don't know if he really wanted to, and the more I started talking about it, the more he started backing away from it. I could tell he started backing away from it as I started in on him a little bit, just by saying, no, don't be stupid, man, you don't have to do that. I could see kind of that he may not really want to do it anyway, and so it didn't, if his mind was set on it, he would have done it. But I could just see there was I could see a hint of hesitation there. And so I just said, no, don't do it. There's no reason to. Those guys felt good about taking the bump, so they took it. But yeah, that's cool. I guess I should read Russo's book.
Thanks for calling in, Scotty.
That's the moral of the story.
I think at some point in every man's life, he reaches a point where if he sees a dumpster next to a ledge, it's going to pass through his head. That's my theory. Yeah. Hey, should we get in there and push somebody off of it, and film it like on Jackass? Yeah. Would I survive?
No. You might survive. We really had some precautions in that dumpster. I mean, they had a rope handles that they were to hold on to, and a rope to hold the doors down when it fell. And so there were a few precautions, not many. I mean, they kind of took a ride at a dumpster and took a big bump, big thud bump at the end, but they were willing to do it. That's Cactus Jack and Terry Funk both. Terry Funk's probably the toughest guy I've ever wrestled in the ring with. And when I say toughest, I mean the toughest. I don't mean the baddest. He may not be the baddest apple of them all, but he was a tough son of a gun, man. We tried to kill him, and he wasn't dying, man. He was beating the crap out of me and Billy Gunn. It was fun, though. We were young and hungry, and we were on top at the time, so we fought like hell, and he did too, man. It was fun. We had a good time. Drew made some killer money together, so that was great.
What are you boys trying to do to me?
That's what he said. What the hell are you trying to do to me? Kill me? And we said, yes, sir. We're trying to kill your old butt. But you won't die. Every time you think you got him injured, he just throws a wild left haymaker and knocks your running lights crooked. So we had a good time, man.
Was there ever any spot that, like, he wanted to do and you like, no, it's too dangerous? Or...
Yeah, there was a lot of those. About 20 just talking over the match. Where you went, no, hell no, we ain't doing that. Oh, man, he's a great guy, though. He's a guy I look up to a lot. I saw him and my dad in Knoxville, Tennessee, and this was back when, this was probably 1992. And he filled the ring with them chairs and put my dad on top of them all. There was a stack of 150 chairs in that ring. And he put my dad on top of it and went up and did a big moonsault. Dad moved. And he landed at all them chairs, man. And I thought, what a crazy, I hadn't seen nothing like that before. And I guess ECW had been doing it, but their TV wasn't hot yet. And so I'd never seen nothing like that before, but it was incredible, man. And it was in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was a good house, man. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then I got to work with him in the same kind of crazy scenario, 15 years later. So it was cool.
678 area code. Who is this?
678. It's probably Atlanta.
I don't know. I think they're too scared to talk. Intrid, you got a question from the board?
Yes, I do, actually. Punka Knight Forever, he wants to know, what are your thoughts on WWE running DX with just Triple H and Shawn Michaels?
And Hornswoggle.
Don't forget Half Pint. I think that's fine. That's what they wanted to do with it. They totally repackaged it and remarketed it towards kids, and it's a lot more PG now. And you know what? There's a ton of money in that. So business-wise, man, it's ingenious. Of course, me personally, I'd love to be involved in it. I'd love to be there in some form or fashion involved in that. So from a personal standpoint, I'd love to be there and hate the fact that I'm not involved in that. But from a business standpoint, I think that's genius on those guys' part.
Has there been any talks to bring you back to be part of DX?
There's been talks back and forth. Nothing ever confirmed, and nothing ever settled down. So it didn't seem like it was meant to be. When the initial contact was made, it was kind of me reaching out to them and them saying no thanks, but no thanks. So I don't think you can ever burn a bridge in professional wrestling. I think if they want you, if they can squeeze a dime out of you, they'll do it. And that's cool. That's what they do in every business, when you're not productive anymore, you're not welcome. So that's cool. And hopefully somebody will think there's still a dime left in me somehow.
Someone brought up a book earlier. In Eric Bischoff's book, he said that DX was a ripoff of the NWO. Just what do you think about that comment?
I mean, I don't. It might have been. It was kind of cliquey. It was kind of it was kind of that. They were half of the clique. You know what I mean? And we had the other half of the clique on our team. So. I don't think we were really a rip-off. I think it just so happened that some members of the same clique worked in two different companies. Yeah. And they kind of got over in the same form or fashion, kind of bucking the system and, sticking it to the man. Right. And so it was, I don't see it as a rip-off. I honestly see it as some members of the same gang worked in two different companies, Mm-hmm. And that's, Bischoff's smart dude too. He didn't get his job by being stupid. He's really smart. The first time I got to work with him was just recently down at TNA, and I realized just how smart he was, man. He's a smart dude. Yeah. Especially when it comes to the television aspect of wrestling, he's really smart.
Mm-hmm. I actually read in the Observer today. They said that you were working an agent at a TNA show recently. Was that true?
Yeah. No, I went down there and did their pay-per-view. I love to do it. Scott D'Amore just had shoulder surgery, so they were just short an agent, and they just needed me temporarily. But it was really cool to go back down there and see everybody and to run into Jeff again and just to see. It was fun, man. I worked there for 7 years, then in September I was released, me and Jim Cornette. And it was just, I hadn't been back there since then. So it's been about 6 months, man. It was just good to go back and see everybody. And I don't know how that'll work out. That's all. There's nothing confirmed or locked in there either. So I'm still just doing the independent circuit, man. On the weekend, it's pretty cool. It gets me back in that gypsy mentality, travel around with the boys in a minivan, and kind of go to the next rodeo and do the dang show all over again, Yeah. It's fun, man.
When I asked earlier about if anyone, if you refuse to do like a Terry Funk spot, I was wondering if anyone ever got mad when you're doing the pump handle slam, and it's kind of like the mock sodomy spot, I call it.
The mock sodomy.
Yeah. A couple people have been a little mad when I used to do the doggy style hump before I would get them in it. And they kind of would get, sometimes they would be like, "Hey, what the hell, man?" And I'd just be like, "Shut up and take the friggin' finish." No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say it, especially to the people who would like have the audacity to get hot about it. I just tell them, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. That's just my thing." If they're already hot about it, I'm not going to confront them with any jabberwocky.
You remember, like, the first time you pulled that move off? Like, it was just something you thought about?
I mean, I don't. I remember I saw Test or somebody do it where they threw the dude over his shoulder. Like, it was really a power move, and I thought, okay, I can't do the power part of that move at all, but I can dang sure roll them up my fat gut and drop out with them, and we could flatten out on the mat at the same time. And so that's, that move is all about trying to make yourself look strong when you're really weak, That's the beauty of professional wrestling.
Right. Barb, you got a question. UK Johnny.
Yeah, that's me. Jobs wants to know, where was the With My Baby Tonight angle supposed to go?
Oh, that's an interesting question, man. It was supposed to be me, the next pay-per-view, that was In Your House, 95, I guess it was, when it all went south. And the next match was supposed to be a three-way dance between me and Jeff Jarrett and Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental title. So, in all actuality, for me, it would have probably been the biggest thing. It would have for sure been the biggest thing I'd ever been involved in my short career there. But I made a different decision. I went in a different direction, man. And so it went south from there. I don't know really, far into the story. Of course, it was going to come out that I was singing the song and that, that Jeff had tried to steal it from me and keep me down. And then I guess I would beat him for the belt or whatever, And so So put the belt on him and have me chase it. And so I guess it was going to end with me winning the Intercontinental title. On down the road, I won it again anyway. And so, that was cool. It maybe wasn't the same. But, that wasn't the first of the bad decisions I made. I had made plenty before, and I made plenty since. So, but we had a good time, man. I've always had a good time, whatever I'm doing. If I'm not having fun, I'm working, and I refuse to do that.
When's the last time you sang the song?
I actually sang it on a Canadian tour that I just came back from throughout the province of Manitoba. We had a too good a time one night, and I broke out the whole song. It was awesome, though. Got a huge pop from all the marks. All the boys. All the boys popped.
Now the chat room is chanting here, sing it, sing it.
Go, Channing. You sing it.
Hard to sing here. Come on. Give us a few lines.
All right. Spend my days working hard on the go, but the hands on the clock keep ticking too slow, and I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight.
Hey, that's actually pretty good, man.
You don't have to tell me.
I can't believe. Oh, you're over with me now. Who was that? 1 Inch Biceps?
No, that's UK
that was
Johnny.
The British chap. Yeah.
Yeah?
That was the UK kid?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Wow. He's got the golden chords, man. He's got it all. The beautiful accent, and he can sing to boot.
Man, I'm getting jealous now. We got who else we got on the line? We got John.
I'm sorry, I'm just not familiar with your working name yet, Body by Jake, or whatever. What was your name again? Jackhammer.
Yeah.
Jackie Rods.
The unpredictable one.
the unpredictable Jackie Rods. They'll all have new names when I'm done with you.
Exactly. John, do you have a question?
Yeah, because, do you invest this,
I don't think anyone heard what you said. Try that one again.
Chief J Strongbow?
Who wants to know your opinion of Chief J Strongbow?
Well, I think Chief J had some wise comments to make years ago. I don't know what he's done since then, but he always told me to save my money, and I never listened to him. And I should have.
Right.
So that's my homage to Chief J Strongbow.
How you doing health-wise?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm not as in shape as I should be, but I'm in shape enough that I need to be, So I've never been the guy that's going to hit the gym real hard. That wasn't my gimmick to begin with. Leave that up to Billy, and I'll just bring the charisma. But, no, I'm doing fine. I feel 40 years old, that's for sure, and that's because I don't exercise regularly. So I feel my age, but it's never far off. Being in shape is never too far off.
617 area code. Who are you?
How are you doing, guys?
Do you have a name?
No, I'm a first-time caller, actually. And
do you want us to name you?
No, I would not, actually. Barb, thank you. But, Rhodey, I just want to know how you feel being Ric Flair status with Triple H and HBK. I mean, you kind of Ric Flair status with them right now with the Click. How that
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would be nice to get back up involved in that. I don't know, man. I'm too old to be getting in there with all them young guys now. Flair did it till he was like 60. I'm 20 years younger than that, and I feel like I'm too old already. So I don't know if I need to keep going to his Ric Flair status, but I'll keep going as long as I can go. That's for sure.
678 area code. Is this the same guy who called in earlier?
Might be.
Do you have a name? Screw the callers. Intro, you got a question.
James DiPaolo from our message board. He wants to know, how do you feel about the Armstrong curse?
I don't think there was an Armstrong curse. I think that was Bobby Heenan bringing out some ingenious commentary like he always did, and I think he definitely had to watch us do jobs every week on WCW. So that's what he came up with, was that we had to curse. We couldn't win a match, and so it was true. But I think the Armstrong curse was somebody in the office above us, you know what I mean? We just couldn't win a match. And so that's something he came up with. I think that's the opposite of a curse, I think it's kind of a blessing to have that last name, especially in the line of work I'm in. So I don't see it as a curse, man. I see the glass as half full.
Is commentating something you'd like to try out?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I would like to try it out. And I don't know that I'd be any good at it, but I would like to try it out. I would think it would be a lot of fun, and I think I'd be okay at it. I just would have to sit through a couple of TVs and do it to see if I would be worth the crap at it. Because some guys are just really good at it, and some guys ain't. And I would hate to have to sit down there if I sucked at it. That would be a horrible job then. But it would be cool to sit through a couple of TVs and see if I could pull it off. Because I think if I sat down and tried it, I could, and I think it would be pretty cool and be fun to do anyway.
We got Andrew calling in from Wales.
I was just wondering, do you think TNA concentrates too much on competing with the WWE?
Yeah, you know what, they probably do. But I don't know if that's a bad thing. I mean, the WWE is the biggest wrestling company in the world, and if you're going to be competing with somebody, they're who you want to be competing with. And so I think I think that's smart. It's a smart business strategy, but they can't totally focus on that. They're going to have to lean, they're going to have to aim their energy at their storylines and stuff and kind of just let their product speak for itself. So it's okay to pick a fight with the big dog, but you got to keep your individuality in the whole deal. You can't just throw it all away and start chasing them. You got to push your own product. So that's a good thing, man.
Kind of along those lines, were there any other plans with VKM to do anything, more towards WWE?
I mean, that we were doing a lot, to be quite honest with you. We went to their live show and their house show and went in there during Hunter's match and made like a grand entrance at the show. It was a big deal because there we stood and Hunter saw us, and we were, at the live event show that was there that night. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to be involved in that, but they never sold it at all. We kept challenging them with all this and doing all this, and they never sold it one time. They never, they never did an interview about it, nothing. They never mentioned it. So it kind of just fizzled, It got old to us, too. It was like, hey, if they're not going to sell it, what are we doing here, Mm-hmm. And so it kind of just fizzled out a little bit. I thought it was a cool idea, and I thought it struck up some interest in some old, good old stuff, that if we would have had footage, or rights to footage, or they would have had rights, they had all the rights to the footage, I guess, of us. But if we could really attack them good, and have some of their footage and stuff, and we could have really done some good work with that. But it was fun. We had a good time doing it, man. Everything I've done I've had fun doing it, whether it succeeded or not. I had just as much fun doing them all.
Yeah. No, we actually saw you in Charlotte last year in August, and it was at NWA Legends Fan Fest. You got in there.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up getting in a big argument with the dude who ran the whole thing, and I really didn't know he ran the whole thing, but I thought, come on, dude, let me take a picture with the Horseman real quick, And he got hot at me, man. He got mad at me. And I told him, I said, get that dude over here. I'll apologize to him, man. I said, but I wanted to get my picture taken with the Four Horsemen, man. That ain't bad. I wasn't breaking no laws. I wasn't trying to beat nobody.
Mm-hmm. But you weren't the only wrestler, I think, who did it either.
Yeah, no, of course not. I mean, they're the Four Horsemen, man. In my line of work, that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And so I was going to get a picture with them, And that guy apparently had a different plan.
Right. Well, we know him pretty well, Greg Price, so we'll tell him that you're sorry.
Okay, yeah, please do, because I am. I didn't mean to make him hot. I didn't. It was a big deal at the time, but I didn't know, really. So, yeah, please tell him I said I'm sorry.
I thought it was pretty cool you were getting the picture with the Horseman. Did you get to keep the picture? Or?
I never even got it because of the big scandalous scuttlebutt. It was all scandalous, and me and Billy were in trouble and everything with the NWA.
Oh man, we're getting the dirt here and in your head.
Yeah, we had heat in the National Wrestling Alliance, so I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do a job for the Horsemen or some show in Charlotte or something.
Entry, got another good question from the board.
Art, he wants to know, what was your favorite moment from the Attitude Era?
It was, it was pretty fun. We used to run out at almost the end of all the shows and take Rock's finish or Stone Cold's finish, or, we would charge the ring at separate times so we could strategically plot ourselves to take finishes all around the ring. And that was really, sometimes we would be off the air and just for the 17 or 18,000 people in attendance, we would just hit the ring after, they'd go off the air with Rock standing in the ring, and Billy and Hunter or somebody would just go, let's go. And we would just haul butt, man, and run. And you just run in at separate times, and, you'll duck his clothesline or something, hit the ropes, and he'll rock bottom, yeah, bam, and here comes another guy right behind him. It was fun, man. It was a great time. That whole Attitude Era, man, was just cloud nine, man. As high as you could get in the wrestling business, that's where we were, man. And it was cool looking down until we all crumbled that way. So we had a great time, man.
Who would come up with most of that stuff, or was it like just all of you guys throwing stuff out?
I mean, the truth of it was Vince Russo wrote us into a lot of scenarios, but we would ad-lib them all as we would, we wouldn't get much input, input from him about direction we were going. He would just tell us the scenario we were in, and we need 5 minutes of video footage, so we would just ad-lib, trying to make each other pop, basically, and trying to, mess with the other guys as much as you could without making him die laughing, and that was even cool. If you made him die laughing, that was even cooler. So we just he wrote us into scenarios, and we acted out of them. So I think it was everybody, man. I think everybody contributed, in their own individual way, too. China was hilarious, She was a funny girl. She was cool and real funny, naturally quick-witted. She had a good sense of humor. And I imagine she probably still does. I don't know. I speak like she's passed on, but DX is dead, so everybody else is dead too. No, I hope she's doing well, and I just saw X-Pac down at TNA, man. It was great to see him. I hadn't seen him in forever, and so it was really good to see him. And guys, my kids just pulled up, man, on the bus, so I'm going to have to get off of here.
All right, we'll let everybody know. Check out Legends Mania. Go over to legendsmania.com. This will be March 12th to the 13th. In Atlanta, Georgia, at the Sheraton Gateway Hotel. It was good having you here. I hope to have you back sometime.
That's right, man. I will come back, man. It was good to be here, guys. I appreciate it. And 1-inch biceps, you keep training hard, and I'm sure you're going to get in there. UK kid, I hope you're successful in all your endeavors. And Jake, Body by Jake. Jack the Hammer Time. I don't know where I'm going with this. It was great to be here, guys. I enjoyed myself, man, and I will definitely come back.
Excellent.
Hey, what's up? This is X-Pac, and you're listening to In Your Head Radio. If you smell what the Pac is smoking.